Good evening and welcome to the Go Tafe Golden Valley Football Show. This evening we're going to start it off a tad different, getting proceedings underway with Mario Di Santa Anna, who looks after our under-18 brigade. Mario, how are you, champ?
I'm great, Foxy, and it's great to be back.
It's great to have you here, and it's been a little bit of a while, and with a bit of luck we've had a few young future stars of the competition in. We can do it a couple of more times before the season's out.
Yep, look, we've got a couple lined up for a couple of weeks, and we should have a bit more fun with the boys, and they really look forward to it, the people out there watching. So
yeah, my word, they do. I've spoken to a few of the younger troopers, and they agree with it completely. Now, the fellow that supported us in our conquest here at under 18 level is a great man himself, Alan Rosignoli. Of course, Alan's got the real estate business here.
He has, down in Wyndham Street there, and you can contact Alan or any of his team there for any of your real estate needs, and their number is 5821 1277, and they'll be sure to look after you. But his generosity has allowed us for the second year running to have this great award.
Good on you.
Richest award in under 18 football.
In the world.
In the world.
That's exactly right.
And we've got a couple of good candidates this week too.
Okay, mate. Tell me all about them.
Young Jordan McGregor from the Tatura Football Club. Young Jordan is under 16s. He started off playing under 16 football, and then because of the shortage they have over there of their thirds players, he stepped up, and now he's played the rest of the season, the majority of the season, in their thirds. Great kid, was in the Bushies under 16 squad as well, and they're expecting big things of him over the next couple of seasons. So well done, Jordan from Tatura. And then the big captain down at Upper Echuca in Angus Byrne, who's had a couple of senior games this year for the Echuca boys. He's kicked 23 goals this year. So he's having a fair effort, and will be pushing his side forward as a challenge for the premiership.
Well, what a tight race it's going to be at the top of the under-18 ladder.
Extremely tight, and I'll go through the ladder.
Yeah, mate, go if you like.
Echuca up there on 52, and Benalla in second place on 48. And Benalla knocked Echuca off a couple of weeks ago, so, the ledge is square there, one each. Kyabram in third on 40, Euroa in fourth on 40. I reckon that top four won't change. Third and fourth might change, but the top four won't. We've got Shep United on 34 in fifth, and Shepparton in sixth on 32, followed by the Swans on 24, just outside the top six. Mansfield on 20, Rochester on 16. In 10th spot we've got Seymour, followed by Mooroopna in 11th on 12th. And in bottom of the ladder there, we've got Tatura on 4 points. Interesting, the ladder at the moment, there's 4 rounds to go. Mathematically, Swans can still make the finals, but they really need Shep or United to drop 3 out of their 4 games. It's a big ask, but can happen. Funnier things have happened. I don't think Mansfield can make it. Foxy, they're 12 points out, so they would have to win their 4, and they've got Benalla and Euroa in that last round, so that makes it tough for them. So realistically, Shep United and Shepparton, both they win one more game each, they've sewn up their spot in the finals. So it's pretty tight.
How's our goal kickers looking for
goal kickers? Zane O'Donnell. Zane's been out injured now for about 5 weeks over at Kyabram. I might be wrong there, 5 weeks I think it is, with a broken bone in his body. So obviously they're resting him, not taking any chances with the gun forward before finals coming up. So they're giving him as much time as they can to heal. He's still on 39, and really, they haven't really challenged him. I think the conditions have stopped the goals coming a little bit. So he's out injured at the moment. Tommy Webster has come on a bit from Benalla with 27. Trent Greening from Mooroopna with 27, who's been playing seniors as well at Mooroopna. Ben McDonald from Kyabram is on 26. Jaden Clark from the Swans is on 23, and then Angus Byrne, who we've already mentioned, from Echuca, has got 23 as well, and he's been playing seniors. So, the challenge is probably going to come from Todd Webster at Benalla there, and we might end up with a close one in 5 weeks' time if the big boy Zane O'Donnell doesn't come back before then. So we've got the last 4 rounds. We've already spoken about that. Echuca, Benalla, Kyabram, Euroa definitely safe in there for finals. So just want to say well done to Euroa. That's the 3rd year in a row that they've actually made finals. Previous 2 years they've struggled for numbers, so it's a great effort for them to rebuild that squad.
My word, it is.
And United and Shep still a little bit doubt. There's a bit of doubt there. If they win one more game, they're probably safe. Next week we've got the split round, Foxy, and some big games there. Seymour Swans in a must-win game for the Swans down there at Kings Park in Seymour. Really dangerous game there for them. Should be a close one, both sides evenly matched, but I've got to go for my
Swans. You certainly would.
And
because they can, Your boys can produce a big upset on occasions.
Oh, they can, and our performances have fluctuated because we've got a lot of under 16 players that are playing with us, and so one week they're up, the next week they're down, but which isn't real good for a coach's blood pressure. But they have a crack, as do the boys at Seymour.
And they tell me Kookaburras can send the coach's blood pressure a little bit higher.
Yes, especially when people like Daniel Patton's up there looking at the Kookaburras.
Don't worry about it, Daniel. I'd have done the same thing myself, mate.
Pay attention, Daniel. And then we've got Mooroopna versus Benalla at Mooroopna. I think Benalla should get away with that one pretty comfortably. And then a huge game, Kyabram Echuca. These two sides could meet in the first week of the finals. It's a tough pick, but I've got to go for Echuca just simply on their position on the ladder.
Yeah, I'd be going the Echuca boys there too as well. Bombers versus the Bombers, but I'll go for the Murray River Bombers.
And just if I could finish off, just to let our viewers out there remind them that this Sunday the Shepparton District Junior Football League Junior Finals commence at Mooroopna on Sunday, and it's a full day of underage football. Under 16 Div 1, Kai versus Shep Swans. Qualifying final, we've got Echuca versus Mooroopna. So two great games there. Div 2, Rochi versus Shep United, and in the elimination we've got Shep Notra versus Echuca, and then we've got a couple of under 14 games as well as youth girls games as well. So it's a whole day of football. I think it's about $5 or $6 to get in, and it's just great entertainment. And they're the kids that are coming through to our under 18 program over the next couple of years. And
to all the under 18 parents and players that are out there, I can tell you that this year again, when it comes around to the preliminary final and grand finals, you'll be able to watch all over Victoria, all over Australia, all over the world, the live calling of the under 18 preliminary final and the under 18 grand final. So don't forget that. And if you want to find more out about that, log into our, you can either go to the GVFL website, www.gvfl, and follow from there, or alternatively, you can become our mates, the GV Footy Show on Facebook. So if you're a Facebook fanatic and you like what's coming your way from this program, just go to GV Footy Show, have a look at us, join us, and you're more than welcome. And looking forward to calling the grand final, preliminary final with you, Mario.
Great highlight, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I know from the feedback we get from those kids around, they just love watching it and looking at it as well. So it's a great opportunity for them.
So get on board. Now, what I will tell you is Mario's going to leave us shortly. This week, much sought after, I'll come up with the senior panel with Guy Morfitt and John Ryan shortly. But before we get there, we had the privilege this week to go up and interview James Flaherty. Now, James gave up his time before they had the big challenge at Benalla. So join us now as we talk to James Flaherty, the Rochester senior coach. James, you're probably the most unassuming captain coach that I've seen in the competition in my time, and not a great deal of people know a great deal about you. So let's find out a bit about you, mate.
Yeah. No,
Victorian-based boy originally?
Yeah, originally from Bendigo.
Yep.
So sort of born and bred there pretty much, and then sort of a bit of a change, more so, a bit of life change and footy, and that went over to WA for 4 years. Sort of come back start of this year.
Now you went over and played for Peel Thunder?
Yep.
And I think you're captain there, am I right saying that?
Yeah, captain there in my last year.
Okay. Now tell us, at that level, fantastic football, you know that and I know that, what position did you play for Peel?
Sort of a little bit of key position full back, but then sort of a little bit up the ground, half back flank. I don't get a lot of the footy, but there's certain roles that I used to play, especially at waffle level when you've got some really key targets out there. So.
Now, I know waffle level would be better than ours, and don't even think it was anywhere in the same class. It's a major statement, but the footy here in the Golden Valley is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I've been asked this question before, and there isn't that much difference, to be honest. Like the country footy at GV standards, especially, I knew about it before coming here, sort of thing. I knew that it was an even comp, and there's good players playing. Probably one main difference I'd say would probably be out of the 22, 21 playing game day, there's elite players across the board where there might just be a little bit of a drop-off with the GB, but still some really good players.
So it would have been a heart-wrenching decision to come back from Western Australia, because they tell me it's one of the prettiest places in Australia.
Yeah, for sure. We sort of had 4 years over there, me and my wife, and we still had family in Bendigo, so it's either do we stay over there for good, because like you said, we're enjoying it, and the lifestyle, the sun, the beaches over there is pretty hard to get away from, but with family and a few other decisions, we thought, we'll turn around and come back.
Tell me about your wife. Did she realise when she married you she was going to marry another bloke called T.W. Sheeran?
Yeah, well, she's starting to work that out this year, I think. Like, she's always sort of been involved over the last 6, 7, 8 years. But I suppose this year it's maybe taken it a little bit further with all the stuff you got to organise and phone calls and stuff like that. But she was well aware of that, so she's on board.
When James Flaherty's not playing footy, what do you do for a crust, mate?
Carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah, so just working in Bendigo. I'm actually working with Daniel Schmidt, who's...
Daniel's a premiership coach here.
Yeah, was one of the main connections that got me to Rochi. But so I sort of just subcontract to him, pretty much give me 40 hours in, and then sort of can focus on footy.
Well, you're lucky that you've got somebody so understanding. And Daniel would know that more than most. I mean, he came over here and he got Rochi in a very good spot and ended up coaching a premiership side. So Daniel Schmidt is a name certainly synonymous with this competition. If he's recommended this man for the job, I'm telling you, he knows his footballers. Now, you are going to be a father for the first time.
That's it. Sarah's 27 weeks now, so due end of October. So
I don't want to say nothing, but you could call the baby the GV Footy Show. Lovely gesture, it's catchy. Foxy. You'd never call it JR. I would shoot you before I'd let you call it JR.
Right.
So that'll be an exciting time in its own right.
Yeah, that's it. And, it is going to be exciting. It's our first child, so obviously, a bit of the unknown, but something that will, take a little bit away from footy and have some focuses outside of footy as well, which is good.
I was talking to James off air and I said to him that you can watch this boy play football and not even been aware that he's participated in the game, because he goes out one-on-one on his opponent and nullifies them completely. It's a complete gift. You're not a boy that you could say would have had 20 kicks a game, James. Would that be fair? No,
that's it. I think from day dot when I started my footy, I probably recognise areas that I'm better at than not. So like I try to focus on them, obviously, to become a better footballer. But you still got to work on your deficiencies. But at this age now, I understand what my role is. Coming to the Rochi Footy Club, watching vision of them over the last few years, they were very attacking. They had a good nature of that, but I suppose being a bit more defensive mindset with my footy individually, that was something that I thought I could bring to the boys.
Now, a lot of players, they work on their skills, their kicking, their marking, their handball. I would say for the role you play, it would take intense concentration to maintain that focus, to coach the side. What do you do about to give yourself an energy to maintain that power between the ears?
Yeah, I suppose a lot of my effort during the week, being a playing coach, does go to planning, making sure training's right, stuff like that. Come game day, I can just focus on what's going on. It's good. It's almost like a release in a way, because I know I've got support there from Stevie Rass and Daniel Schmidt on the bench. So I guess come game time, I'm able just to play my role just like the other boys.
Obviously today you've got Benalla, and it's a tragedy really, because the game's not suited for the elitist football that both of you sides will be guilty of providing as the finals go on.
Yeah.
We were having a bit of a debate in our previous show, and I'm not going to ask you, but it'll be well and truly after the horse is bolted. But myself personally, I thought with your concentrating powers, the best player to play on Mellington's got to be a concern for you.
Yeah.
The best player to play on him would be yourself. Did you debate that with your selection panel, or did you just say, bang, I want him?
Yeah, for sure. It has happened on some occasions this year. Rob just put my hand up and said, yeah, I'll go to him and we'll work through that. But it's also good to give a few of our younger players opportunities. Obviously, Mellington's a danger. I know he's 46 goals or something like that in the last nine rounds. So he's not the only one. They seem to go to him a little bit. So a lot of our focus will be there. But I think it's more of a back six sort of thing with a key player like that who's very dangerous.
Now, highlight to me, I reckon a few of your boys have improved out of sight under your tutelage, and one of them, I don't know what you've said to him or anything, but as good a player as he has been for a long time, have you altered Ash Watson's gameplay?
No, not specifically sort of come game day, but I have spoken to him, over pre-season, over, the start of the year that, it's great that he gets plenty of the ball. He's a force for us on ball, getting the ball going forward, but there are areas that I want him to work on as a leader of the footy club. His defensive nature, being able to cover and scan, stuff like that. So, he's taken on board. I think, not just him, but there's a couple of those senior players that if it was going to work this year, we needed them to lead.
Tell me give me another two that you reckon you've had an input, particularly down the back end. I mean, I'm a huge rap for the boy Godsmark. I think you've got him. What did I say?
Godsmark.
Yeah, Godsmark. He plays up the road. Darren's boy.
Gledhill.
Yes.
Jimmy Gledhill, yeah.
the hippie, the resident hippie of the competition.
Yeah, no, he loves it.
Yeah, his game's improved as well. I think that's under your tutelage.
Yeah, not too like from the discussions I've had. Obviously, he can play. Had a pretty good year last year as a key defender. But yeah, I suppose played a lot more footy down there. I can see areas that he can improve. We speak about that, but naturally he's a really good defender. His tackle on the footy, he does have good skills, so his ball use. He just needs to stay within his limits and stay focused for that whole game, and then he plays pretty well.
What about Crowbars?
Dill Williams.
Yeah.
There's a few. Dill Williams.
He has. I'm telling you right now. I don't know what you've said to him, but he has almost become in the elite category of this competition.
And it's great. That's one of the things. It's really impressed me, that especially Dill Williams, Nathan Moroney, probably a two, Nicky O'Connor, three blokes of the local Rochie people. The three of them work and live in Bendigo with uni and stuff like that, so I've had a bit to do with them, driving up to training and stuff, but it's just good to see them playing well. There's a bit of guidance there, but they're natural footballers.
All right, mate, look, I know you've got a big day in front of you. I really do appreciate you giving up your time. I'd take my hat off to you because one of the fathers that you've got tied up there, a former president, I don't want to say his first name, but you know who he is. He's got the shopping head.
Yeah.
We've got to say good day to him, because if we don't, he'll cry a lot.
He'll love it.
Oh, mate, it's a bad knowing. But all the best today, and I hope to get you back as the finals go on, because the closer we get, I think Roch are going to play a major role this year, and I wish you every success, mate. All the best.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. That was James Flaherty, and John, we met him on the day, and a terrific fella.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic bloke, and I can see why the Rochester boys are going so well now. He's just one of those blokes that you want to go out and play football for. Morphy, it was a pleasure to interview him, and it was a pleasure to meet him, and he was just a wonderful bloke.
Chippy by trade, and played a bit of footy in Perth, relocated back home here to... he's originally a Bendigo boy and just loves coaching the Rochester Football Club, and a really interesting man indeed to talk to. I really thoroughly enjoyed his company.
And doing a wonderful job there. They're a good side, don't worry about that.
Very good job.
Okay, let's get into the scoreboard from last week. There were some wet games last week, weren't there? There were big slushy conditions up there at Benalla, but they got the Chockies in the end by 1 point over Rochester. Rochester now have dropped two in a row, but I don't think a lot can be taken away from last week.
Foxy.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Johnny. 2 points and 1 point.
And I'll tell you something else. How many games would you win if you said a side kicked 3 points after half time? You wouldn't say they'd win a game, but Benalla did.
Okay. Shepparton, 19-point winners over Mansfield United. Too good for Tatura by 28. Seymour got over the top of Kyabram by 3 points. That would have been a great game of football. Euroa, surprisingly to quite a few, me included, in those conditions they played under last week, to win by 43 points over the Swans, that's a huge win indeed. And Marupna went about being Marupna and were comfortable victors over Echuca to the tune of 39 points.
Foxy, the interesting one is Seymour getting up by 3 points. It was only 3 or 4 weeks ago they beat Kai by 2 points.
Yeah, so it's all fine up towards the end of the year, isn't there? There's no doubt about that. Our ladder sees Rochie 2 games clear on top. I don't think they'll lose top spot. They're on 48, Penella on 40. Then Euroa are on 38, and then it's Kyabram on 36 with the Swans on 36. Seymour on 36, and then 8 points out of the final six is Marupna on 28, Mansfield on 24. You count Mansfield out of the finals chase now, one would think. United on 20, Shepparton 16, Echuca on 14, and Tatura yet to trouble the points department. Our goal kickers, Josh Mellington on 70, Justin Madden on 61, Billy Burston 51, and the next major kicker is Steve Struvant, who has kicked 41 goals.
Just on Seymour boys, pardon me, what about their last 5 games? Like, they've played finals probably for the last 5 weeks, so they're going to have a very, very long finals series, Seymour. But if you look at their last wins, it was 2 points to Kyabram, there was 10 points to Echuca, 6 points to Marupna, 2 points to Rochester, and 3 points to Kyabram again. It's a great effort. It really is.
They know how to win close anyway.
Yeah, certainly do.
Now, before we just get into the footy show proper, I want to talk to you about a very important thing, and that is what will be coming out to the clubs. This is a health services directory, and it's going to come out to your club, and make sure you go through it. It's a list of services and programs that are available for the social welfare of footballers and netballers as well, and of course volunteers in the Goulburn Murray community. Now, some of the things that they do offer you support in is mental health, drugs and alcohol, family support, youth services, just to name a few. There's many other services available, so your club will be getting these, and make sure you get hold of one. It is, nobody's beyond having problems in their life, and these are a key.
It's a great idea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a fantastic idea. It'll fit nicely in your wallet. Your people will have them at your club, and if you're having problems, don't be scared to go up and ask the questions that should be asked, because at given stages, we know that we've all needed help. Okay, getting into tonight's show, John.
Yes.
Have you got anything you'd like to add to us? There's a couple of feature fun stories that have happened this week. We've got a few out there, and we'll show you right now that Nick Warnock, the full forward come ruckman from Benalla, got engaged to his lovely girl Gracie, and they're expecting a baby in the not too distant future. But they announced their engagement, which was Gracie's birthday, on Saturday. And if you have a look at here, I reckon he could have gone a bit bigger with the diamond. It's a very small diamond, Johnny. I know I've seen your wife.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
But I suppose-
I'm glad I said diamond. I'll tell you what, I could have gone to trouble then.
Yeah.
I've seen your wife's diamond, John. And it's twice the size of yours. Nick, and you're on about 900-1000 a game.
Yeah.
Could have
Pretty
bought a-
measurable, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what. Did you see it?
It's a big rock.
It's a big. Oh, I tell you what.
It's a big rock.
Into trouble there.
Did you know they're going to call the baby JR Junior?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and pigs are flying right across the front as we talk here. Now, the great man himself, been working hard lately, changing his hairdo.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm talking about the Dirt Doctor.
Not Marky.
Marky, have a look at
Marky.
Marky having a 9-eye on the couch. And have a look at the hair clips in. I don't know whether they're his colour or not, but someone told me, I'm not going to give up any names, but he might have had a few liquid sleeping tablets in the Marty Corelli, John.
I'll tell you what, Marky, after seeing this photo, don't ever go at me about me pink hair. You've got to have a good long hard look at yourself, Marky, wearing that stuff in your hair. You're a legend in this league, and
No,
he's
he's
gone.
not.
He's
No,
gone down.
He's another bloke.
I think he's going back. He's coming back.
The highest bid of quarrel, they call him. He'll go where the money is. You know?
I reckon he'll coach next year.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he's got to take those ribbons out of his hair. He's
it's a
gone
very
down.
sad
He's
thing to
gone
see.
down.
Now, a couple of people that we met on the weekend, terrific people too, I can tell you. We see Hazy all the time. We affectionately call him Hazy. And he had his young son there with us on the weekend, and that was young Rory, terrific young kid. And I might tell you that Rory boundary umpired, I think, the reserves and
the
under
thirds.
18s. Terrific effort by the young man.
Yep.
And his dad was particularly proud of him. They sat alongside each other all day. So to you, Mick, and young Rory, thanks for joining us.
Australian long neck champion.
I heard that.
The ruckman.
No, he can do something with a long
Australian
round bottle.
long neck champion.
Just like this.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone else has gone, but not Hazy.
No,
He's
he's
just down one, out for the other,
Yes.
like the assembly
He can
line.
put a few away, can he?
Yeah, Australian champion.
Good.
Yeah, now, I've also got to say to some people up in Harvey Bay in Queensland, John, Tricia and Charlene and Shannon are watching the show. And if I don't say g'day to them this week, because they watch it every week, they're going to go very crook at me. So I'll say g'day to them. And
G'day.
they absolutely love their Mad Melbourne supporters, and they let me know
Good people then.
5
So
minutes.
do I do.
Yeah.
5 minutes after the siren left last week, they let me know who won the game between the Pies. On a really positive news story, John, Brooke Martin
Yep.
played a fantastic game last week too, Brooke.
Good player.
And in a really greasy conditions, Brooke Martin plays his 100th game this week, and that in itself was a great... He's only a young man, Brooke. How old? I don't reckon. What, he 23, 24?
If that. Oh, look, they're
he's got a
they're a
huge-
terrific family.
Oh,
Like James and Sam are still out.
Yeah.
You know, and look, like they're just a wonder. Like their mum and dad are just going to be so proud of them. They're just wonderful players.
And Steve Martin, the father's a really nice player.
And they're wonderful young blokes too. They come up and make themselves known here and terrific. Now, so James and Sam, as soon as they get back, like Benalla got 8 players can go back into that side, boys. I can read the list out there. Like there's some pretty smart names that can go back into that side.
Okay, now, as we said, we've got it's a split round this weekend. There's a couple of games for us to go through. The first one, Johnny, this is going to be an absolute beauty, and that is when Kyabram take on Euroa.
Yes, David. And it says there, Foxy.
Oh, it's about me. It's,
Yeah,
I, do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I thought we were having a round robin with it, John.
Yeah. Well, we can, but you got to
I'm
start.
glad we've got a running sheet.
Yeah, we've got a running sheet. It's
Yeah.
working beautifully.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Pete, do you want me to start off? You're going. You're right.
No, I'm ready to
You're
go.
right.
There you go.
Yes, you go, John.
No.
No, go on.
Well, what a wonderful game this is going to do. As we know, Kyabram got up by...
Enough said, thanks, John. I'll get straight in.
There you go,
Right into it. So let's have a look at Kai Abram, because I was waiting for him to start, then I would come in, because that's what he does over the top of me. Euroa, well, sometimes when you have a look what they take out on the field, you wonder how they do it, but to the coaching staff at Euroa, they're doing a fantastic job. There's no doubt about that. They're operating on a skeleton crew on occasions, and they're doing it's all in working in together. Kai Abram, well, I'll ask you this, Johnny, before we get into the and I'll ask you too, Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Have Kai been a little bit disappointing in the second half to what they were in the first half?
Oh, look, I reckon if you look at Kai's losses, they were beaten by Rochi by 5 points, 12 points to Mansfield, 2 points to Seymour, 17 points to the Swans, and 3 points to Seymour. So, to me, you can't say their year has been disappointing. You know, they could have been zip. You know, they could have been undefeated. So, because they haven't had a flogging by any means. Now, the Swans game, they were in front there. So, to me, my problem with Kyabram at this stage, Billy Burston's kicked 50 goals. But the next closest is Sherman and Reece Clark have kicked 16. And I think this is where they've got to try and work out their spread on their forward line. I think Kai got a very, very good list. You know, you go through their back line, Edwards, Vic, Sheldon and Morgan. Now, Morgan's been in the best 12 times. You know, and he's just been a great player. Liam Ogden, they got him back through the midfield and he's playing really good football. I think one of the most underrated players in their side is Axel Childs. We've seen him firsthand a few weeks ago. He come up against Shane McDonald and I thought he just did an absolutely magnificent job on him. That's it.
Luke Morris been down a bit.
Has a little bit. I mean, what I was just about to say about Kai was, though, that they have lost some close games, John, but Kai, you look through their list, they've got some quality in their side. So, and they've got some experienced players that come finals time. I just think come finals time, Kyabram will lift another gear because they've got players who know how to play finals football. So don't write Kyabram off at the moment.
I think the coach has got to do a bit more. I think he's a very good player. But he's out on that wing. I would sooner see him play across the half forward flank where I think he could be really dangerous. He's got a big motor, but I think sometimes up through the midfield he gets a bit and I think last week they put Lukey Morris to centre half forward and I think he kicked 3 goals and I thought it was a really good move. But I just think they've got, especially on the big ground of Kai, I reckon Sherman would be a better bet, Foxy, on the half forward flank.
Yeah, I've got to tell you this, that I reckon if they don't, I know he's having a fantastic year down back, Sammy Sheldon. Sammy doesn't waste the footage on that. They haven't got enough goal kicking power up forward, I don't think.
And he kicked a lot.
If Burston's kept quiet, if he's kept quiet, that's it. They seem to. It takes them from being a top echelon side down 2 or 3 rungs like that.
Well, Sammy Sheldon, what you're saying, Foxy, is right. He was a goal kicker for them last year. Now, last year he got in their best only 3 times. He's been in their best 10 times this year. So it just shows you the year he's having. Now, when you got players like him and Morgan, don't be frightened to throw them around. You know, Morgan can go to the midfield. Sammy Sheldon can go forward and kick goals.
I reckon Morgan will win a medal if they play him as ruck rover all year. That's only my opinion. But let's have a bit of a look at Uriah. The permanent, well, not the permanent move, but they're using Cunningham up forward. And, Guy, that's been a real plus for you.
Yeah, look, it has. I mean, Brad Cunningham, I think we've spoken about how hard Brad is to match up on. He plays a lot taller than what he actually is because he's only a midget.
Good player.
He's a good player. He's very wide through the shoulders, and look, he's got a sensational set of hands. And yeah, look, it has been a good move. It's been proven. Probably last 2 weeks he's been down a little bit, and I'd be fair on Brad for saying that. He's got to be disciplined, Brad. That's one probably downfall in his game a little bit, but he's a sensational player, and boy, I'd love to have him up there every week.
I think, Foxy, and Guy, I'll run this out. We've spoken about Kyle, we speak about Benalla, and I don't think Euro are getting enough credit for what they've done. Now, if you have a look at their losses, with 6 points to Echuca, we expect them to beat Echuca. It was only 15 points to Rochester. They drew with United. 25 points to Kyabram, they were 5 goals up in the first quarter. 6 points to the Swans, and they were 33 points up at half time. Now, their year has been really, really good. And I reckon Euro as a side has got under the radar a bit. When you look at those stats, they are playing good footy.
Oh, but when they let you down, if you to have lost to Echuca, John, and to have drawn with United, the way those two sides were travelling at that particular time, it raises doubts. And I'm telling you, I've never seen a side play as well as what they did in the first quarter against Kyabram.
Yep.
They lost that game, and I've never seen a side play as well in the first quarter as what they did against the Swans, and they lost that game. I'm not. Euroa haven't won me 100%.
Yeah, look, I think with the list they've got, I think they've done a fantastic job. I really do. I give them credit for that. I do think in September, when it gets really hot, they could struggle a little bit.
It's fair comment. They probably are playing a little bit above themselves at the moment, and that's in fairness. I think a few blokes would admit with the list that Euroa's got at the moment, that they probably are playing a little bit out of their skin.
But you've got a good spread, like Cunningham with 24, Patton with 20, Bamford with 16, Gleeson with 28, even the big ruckman Johnny Apu, he's kicked 10, and of course Nathan Gilliland's kicked 23. So you've got a good spread of goal kickers.
They've got a few of the best defenders in the league, and I can tell you now, there's none better than Adam Tarrant. Ben Barker's a boy that's got under everybody's gut.
Playing good footy, isn't he?
Jordan Taylor's doing the job week in, week out, in my opinion. They've created, the Jet Trotter's been doing the right thing as a young man coming into the side, and look, Paddy Horsburgh has got himself, I think, in a real good game of football. Kai will just get him.
Yeah, look, I'm a bit of a toss of the coin here. You know, I look back at that game before. I know it was 25 points, but they went from 5-3 to being 5 goals up in the first quarter to being 2 points down at half time, which was to me was astounding. But look, they might have a few injuries, your old boys, but I think if Kai win this, look, it's a must-win also for Euroa. This could be a draw. We often call a draw, but I reckon this could be a goal or under this game.
Took Johnny 258 words to say one thing on either Kai or Euroa. So, Guy, you can have 242.
Are you just trying to be a smart ass or what?
Yes.
Euroa.
Euroa. Thank you very much. Now, moving right along. A great game too. This is another, you talk about telltale games. Seymour.
Oh, the 3 games.
They are coming home hard. The mighty Lions down there, and they've got the hot and cold Swans. There's no other way you can describe them, Guy. Your thoughts?
Yeah, 5th versus 6th this game, and this is massive for both of these sides to consolidate their positions leading into September. David, one thing I learned about Swans last week is that to me, they really don't handle the wet. And I think even Bestie came out in the paper through the week and sort of... He probably let his cards down a little bit, Bestie, and nothing against him here, but it's probably a learning curve, but sort of said that they much prefer the dry weather. So that really sort of got into the heads of Euroa, and they sort of conceded a little bit before they'd started, Shep Swans, because they really didn't handle the wet weather well at all. But... yeah, look, it's going to be a great game. Seymour kicked 13 goals 5 last week, so that's great goal kicking in front of goals. Like 13 goals 5 in wet conditions is a good return.
I think
David
Bongetti is a big turnaround.
Yeah, look, he has. He's injected some spark back to their side, but beating Kai by 3 points it's a great effort. Grenfell, he's been sensational the last 3 weeks. You know, I probably underrated him a little bit, but the work that he's doing for Seymour is great. It's going to be a good matchup, him and Bell. I really rate Bell highly. He's a young bloke who's learning more and more about the game, but the times I've seen Mitch Bell for Swans, he's really impressed me as a ruckman. Yeah, look, I worry who's going to be able to take Bongetti, John, for Swans. I don't know who they can match up on him.
I think the only chance they've got there is probably Reardon.
Yeah, well, Reardon's probably a little bit too short for him though, but it'll be interesting to see who they play on him.
Tommy Campbell,
yeah, possibly. Chapman, he's another backman as well. So, Sard's last couple of weeks he's starting to find a little bit of form, and I think having Bongetti next to him too, David, he just feels a little bit more, probably takes a little bit of the pressure off Sard. He's a quality player, Hugh Robinson's really impressed me from Seymour, and I think he'll get the job on Madden. He's been sensational, Hugh Robinson, for a young bloke. Meredith out on the wing there, and Gamble could be a good matchup as well. Scanlon, he's been playing off a back flank, John. I'd say he'll possibly get Antonowitz. I don't know how that matchup would go. Jason Cole on side bottom would be another good one to watch. Tyson Sidebottom's his last 3 weeks, I think you boys have been a bit critical of Tyson Sidebottom, and fairly enough to you included for the don't look at me like that. For his start of the year wasn't great, but his last sort of 4 to 6 weeks have been sensational. He sets himself up about 2 metres off the pack and uses the footy really well, David. So great player. I think. For me, I don't think Swans are going to have enough firepower. I think Seymour will get the job done.
Being very hard on me there, guy. I don't think
No,
I've
I
ever
don't
knocked
think
Tyson's offside bottom. And can I just say one thing about two players there, Grenfell and Mitch Bell?
Mm-hmm.
In-house,
Mm-hmm.
their people know just exactly how good those two boys are. And Mitch Bell is a quality ruckman, marks around the ground, he's a real deal. And Grenfell, and look, I think...
I'm pretty sure I just said that.
No, but I'm just saying that in-house, they're held in more respect than what they are right around the whole competition.
Okay.
So what you said in 10 words, you could have said in 2.
Correct.
That's exactly right.
It's
But I would, all right, I've changed my name to Dave R. Dave R. Or
But
Guy,
no, what you say?
or Guy J.
No, whatever. So, look, Meredith, he's been in the best 11 times along with you, Robinson. Meredith's kicked 15 goals, so that's pretty good for a midfielder. Grenfell, he's a star, this kid. I'm a rap on this kid. Cole, he's been in the best 10 times along with Scanlon. So, and then you look across to Swannies, Quade Johnson's. Yeah, he's had a terrific year, Quade Johnson.
player.
9 times in the best. Fry, Reardon, Bell and Squires, all been in their top players, in the best players. And, Antonovich, he's having a pretty good year. He kicked 33 last year and he's got 35 this year, Foxy, so he's going along okay. Fry kicked 11. Look, Seymour at home, they built a bit of a fortress there.
Yeah,
now,
they'll win.
And I think Seymour will win.
David?
I think I'm going to go for the Swans. On the Seymour grounds held up a little bit better, and I think what you said, what Bessie said's true there, and on top of the ground side. And the Swannies for me, but we'll move right along now to an absolute beauty, and that is going to be Marutna. If Marutna lose on Saturday, Johnny, they're gone.
Who's got this go?
The bloke who's got this one is a great man, the holy one, John Ryan.
I'll grab a pillow and we'll have a sleep.
Yeah,
for a
look,
while.
Good now.
I've been going to this game, David. I think it'll be a great game of footy. Marutna. Well, I think if Marutna don't make the finals, they're going to be my biggest disappointment for the year. I said at the start of the year, they're 7-7 at the moment. The 39 points last week against Echuca was pretty good, but their forward line with Lewis, Marks, Bagalis and Aho, he's kicked 28, Lewis has kicked 23. Shane McDonald, he's been a great player for Marutna, he's been a great pickup, he's been in their best 10 times, he's kicked 33 goals. You've got Joey Solomon, Colton Freer and Dean Smith. Young Dean Smith's kicked 9 goals over wing, Foxy, which is a pretty good effort from him. Down back with Boyer, Johnson, Thompson and Cornick. Look, they're going to have to come up against Josh Mellington. I reckon I'll give Kane Boyer first crack at him. Josh Mellington, look, he's kicked 56 goals last year. He's got 70 this year, so he's been terrific. Big Jordan Wolf's just starting to find his way now. Jordan. Nick Warnock, he's playing a different role, and I think he's playing a better role through the midfield. He's kicked 26 goals, Foxy, and he's probably a lot of pressure off now that his wife's pregnant and he's engaged, so things are going good for him. Farron Priest, he's going to turn the club around, this bloke. I think he's just a super player and he's just going to get better. The surprise packet is Mitch Exton. He's kicked 17 goals, this bloke. They've won 7 in a row now, Benalla, and it just shows you good. But look, when you go through their midfield, still my favourite, Will Martinelli. This bloke's a star. He's been in their best 13 times. He's kicked 9 goals. You got Marshbank in the bloke, James, Jacker, Morgan, Luke Morgan. He is really starting to find his feet, Luke Morgan. He's so important to him. 2 kids, Patrick Robertson and young Jake Doidge. I was really impressed with those young blokes last week. A couple of boys out of the thirds. And then you look down back, Lockie Smith. What can you say about Jug Prawpratt? What a fantastic effort for this kid to come back. We thought his year was gone with a knee injury, and like last week, he would have been a bit edgy last week, I reckon, playing in that mud, but he just played really well. Andy Polworth, he's just a go with this bloke. And of course, Brooke Martin playing his 100th game, it's terrific. They're number 1 in attack, and they're number 1 in defence, Benalla now, and then Marutna are 6-6 in that area. And as we spoke before, their 4 losses, Benalla, have been 10 points, 19 points, 34 and 1 point to United. And if you look at Marutna, well, they broke a 4 losing game streak, and their 4 losses were Kai, Seymour, Rochi and Benalla. So, look, I think Benalla will go on there happy weight.
Who do you think will get Mellington, did you say?
I reckon Kane Boy. I reckon they'll give him first go. If Kane Boy doesn't get a crack at him, I'd use Ryan Thompson on him.
Is Luke Morgan in your top 30 yet?
Luke's, he's moving his way in.
I've got to tell you that Josh was a major goal kicker in the last 2 sides these sides met, and I think they might alter their plan, Marutna, as to who picks him up. That's what I think.
Benalla, one in attack and one in defence, and they're like that for a reason, and Maroubna will not get within a bull's roar of them.
They kicked two. They kicked 2 goals 8 last week in the last quarter, Maroubna. So, look, they've just been disappointed. I reckon they've got a really good list, Maroubna.
They do.
Just haven't put it together. But if there's a week to do it, and I reckon the 3 games this week are 3 of the best games we've had all year.
Certainly.
And both of them, all games can go either way.
No,
I disagree. Maroubna won't get near them.
Okay, I think Benalla will win and win it pretty well too. Now, look, fellas, just diversifying because it's what have we got, John? How many weeks left have we got?
We've got about 3 or 4.
It might be
We've got
4.
another split round and then with 3 games, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll ask you now, Guy, you can go first.
Mm-hmm.
You indicated at the start of the year a couple of players you thought of. I'm just saying, just no need to look with your big
I
excited
haven't
face.
said anything yet.
Yeah, but Morris and Middle, just 2 that you think will feature.
Well, was it round 1, the first show that I said Ash Watson was going to win?
Yeah,
I think it was.
We both did, yeah.
No, you did not.
Oh, no, you and I
look at
did.
him. Look at him jump on the wagon now.
Yeah, it was it.
We said that.
The garden knows.
Yeah,
This
well,
makes
yeah.
me sick.
Jiminy Cricket, what are you going to say?
Look,
Jiminy?
You want me to take over?
Come on.
Ash
Watson.
Ash Watson for me,
Yeah.
I think will be an absolute standout to win the medal. Shane McDonald's been the best 10 times too, so don't rule him out. His last 2 weeks,
33 goals.
last 2 or 3 weeks haven't been that flash. But Shane McDonald and Ash Watson for mine. But I think Ash Watson is just mercurial. He'll win it by probably 4 or 5 votes. John.
Ash Watson, he got 16 votes last year. He was in the best 15 times. He's been 11 this year, and he's kicked 11 goals. Foxy. Will Martinell is a star. He won it last year. I think he can win it again. He was in their best last year 14 times.
2 you've got.
13.
2 you've
That's
got.
enough, David.
Shane McDonald, Jason Moore, and Sam Martin.
Yeah, that's right.
Sammy Martin will get a lot of votes early.
Yeah, I would say.
He might hurt Will a bit.
From where I'm sitting right now, there's one bloke that I think is going to get more votes than what we all realise. And I'll tell you right now, I think Will Martinello would be leading it.
Paul Kirby, you said at the start of the year.
Yeah, I did, and I made a mistake.
He's playing well now.
But he's going along all right. But don't.
Good man, Paul too.
Kirby is an absolute champion. But I think the boy who's going to get a lot of votes this year and has got under everyone's talk about it is Scanlon from Seymour. Believe you me, he will vote very, very well indeed.
I'd agree with that, actually.
You've got to get back on medication.
I'll tell you right now.
No, I agree. Not that I agree with him much.
No, well, Hugh Robertson.
Scanners.
Hugh Robertson down there starring.
Yeah, Hugh Robinson's an absolute superstar. He's an AFL player playing Golden Valley football, that kid. And I will go out on a limb and say that because I've seen what's going around the AFL. That boy can.
What about Brett Merritt? He's going to get votes. He's been in their best 11 times.
I'm telling you
kicked
right
15
now.
goals.
Look, we're 4 weeks out. I got Jiminy Cricket, and I got Jed Clampett sitting here alongside me.
And we got him off his medication.
I'm telling you right now, Scanlon will vote very, very well. Affectionately known as Stewie. He's as fair as
Chewy.
He takes the ball.
What about Josh Mellington? How do you reckon he'll go, boys?
No, you'll get votes.
70.
For sure.
He's had
Yeah.
a good year.
Sometimes.
Sammy Shelder, only in the best 3 times last year. Kicked 10 times
Could
this
he
year.
kick a ton, John?
Oh, yeah, I think he can. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having a
capable.
lazy. I wouldn't mind having a lazy little wager there that my man Joshy kicks 100.
Simon Buckley had a good year.
No,
Yeah, there's
not
a
for
few there. Tommy Sheldon, I don't think has had the year he would have wanted.
Lucas Conker, he's only been the best once.
Neves will get a few votes from United.
Yeah,
and he has to.
Good. Yeah.
But I agree with everything you said about Ash Watson. I really do. I think
So you should.
he's an absolute champion, Ash Watson. I think, and I'll tell you what, the captain coach of Euro is going to get a few votes too, boys.
Yes.
Don't worry about that. So, whilst I've shown a fair
Yeah,
degree of level-headedness here, it's been quite a handy discussion.
and Morph's got his little letter there he's got to finish off with.
Yes, we've got. There you go. See, sometimes every now and then you can forget things. But I was only
Medication.
tricking.
I told you
was
about the
only
medication.
tricking. I was only tricking because here now is Jim and I, Cricket Eye, with Morph's mailbag.
It's a tool, isn't it?
Correct.
It is an
Except
ab-
for- I told you, the medication
Don't
is
be
off it.
using naughty words.
It is an ab-
That'll
is
do.
an
Read your Gmail.
It's an absolute dick.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I'm telling you right now. And enjoy Guy's company. It'll be the last time you see it. Go right ahead.
Hi, Morph. It's an idiot. Hi, Morph.
Hi, Morph.
Curious on the panel's thoughts about the article in the Weekender re the reserves football and what the guys think we can do to give it more exposure. obviously senior football gets a lot, and the under-18s have a component on your show fortnightly and 1FM weekly, but the reserves seem to get very little, and that's from Tony in Shepparton. Good letter. I read the article that you're talking about, Tony, that Simon Devine wrote in the Weekender. And it was a great read. It's something that's obviously close to my heart. Coaching last year, the reserves premiership, and I think reserves football is just as important as any football. They're the backbone of your club. They're the people who will turn up week in, week out. And I think that it's exactly right. If you can try and get there an hour early or an hour later or whatever, get down and support them, because it's a very big part of football.
And I just think, look, I agree with that. And I just think if there was some players out there playing some, big milestones where you do fine in twos footy, set it into us, and we're quite happy to put it out there for you, And you'll see a lot of guys 300 games. We'll put it on our show because it's a great effort and it's a great thing for a football club.
David?
No, look, I've coached reserve football, and the blokes love it. It's very important to any club.
It is, yeah.
Your foundations are your under-18s, and then your I've always equated the reserve component. They're your raffle ticket buyers, and they're the boys that buy a bit over the bar, and they keep the club really
sit around and barrack for the seniors on that, and they do,
which is good. And tell me something.
Yep.
You've coached reserves football, John. You've coached senior football, and you've coached senior football too, David.
Yep.
Which one is the hardest to coach?
Oh, the twos, because you've got leftovers.
Reserve football's the hardest job in coaching.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that now.
Not the same amount of pressure as senior footy, but it's harder because...
it is. I'll tell you what, if your senior side goes out and you're the only glowing light, it's hard work.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're left with the leftovers, and all of a sudden you're short, and you've got to go to the pub and find a few blokes just to fill in for a day. There's a lot of work.
I remember having a conversation with the great Mark Horrell, who has coached back-to-back flags.
That bloke with the stuff in his head.
Yeah. And he said that every senior coach that wants to coach should have a go at coaching reserves.
I'd agree with that.
And I do agree with it. But anyway, sometimes it's hard. But to the you boys that are running around in the Reserve 18 competitions, we salute you, and we really do appreciate the job that they do because they're fantastic.
Morsemailbag@gmail.com.
Yes, and don't forget, you can say anything you want about him. If you've got something nice to say about any of us at all.
Or you can send it to JR's G Street.
Alrighty, that's it for this week.
Or the wood duck in the middle.
We've got some big stuff. Sorry, Jiminy, I didn't mean to insult you. And to Jed over here on me right, this is...
medication.
No, medication, yeah. One tablet too many, saying ta-da for now.